It's on?
It's on.
Lovely. Hi, Michelle. Sorry, wrong person. After a divorce, selling the home that you and your ex-husband had purchased, while you always knew that you would buy a property of your own one day, you were questioning whether it was going to be possible because you've been seeing how much property prices have been rising.
Yes.
And you were thinking, how is this ever going to be possible for me?
I didn't think it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Trevor Russell here from Results Investment Group. I'm here with one of my very good friends and clients who is going to share her story about what she did to overcome these thoughts that we get that can get in the way of us building financial freedom, and what you've gone on to do to now be on your way to building a multi-million-dollar property portfolio, and also recently setting up your own self-managed super fund and buying your first self-managed super fund purchased property, which, by the way, by the time Marilyn is at retirement age, looking at average capital growth and rental income would be upwards of $3 million plus, debt-free, with a six-figure tax-free growing rental income.
Yeah, amazing.
Just from that one property.
Just from that one.
Good job. yeah, high five, right? So I'm excited. Are you excited? Get your notebook out because we've got some good value to share with you in this interview. Over to you, Marilyn. Tell us, how many years have you been on the planet?
Oh no.
How many years have you been on the planet and what you're currently doing for a job?
I'm almost 49
Cool.
in a few days.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
49 years young.
yeah. Remote nursing, fly in, fly out work.
Great. While the question of your age is a bit uncomfortable, the reason I ask that question, yes, not always a nice thing for a man to ask a woman her age, the reason being is because, well, let me even ask you, Marilyn, on your journey, would you ever hear the story from people, it's too late, I'm
Yes.
too old, why bother, all these stories, right? I remember a ways back when we were chatting about you had just got some help with getting your loan put together, and we were talking about you buying your first property, and I think we caught up because you wanted to know, how do I do this? Like, how do I buy this property? Which we'll come back to. But that was at an age where even still, some would go, oh, it's too late, which it's never too late. Tell us more about that time where you were thinking property prices were going up too high and property was beyond your reach.
Yeah.
You were chatting to your mum, I think?
No, oh yeah, I was talking to my mum. I was having a sook to my mum because my friend just sold her house for like 1.3 million, and it was a house that was, in my opinion, should have been bulldozed down. So I'm like, how am I going to get into the market? Like, this is ridiculous. And my mum's like, well, you could get in through doing an apartment. Yeah. And I was like, looked into that, and I was like, actually, that could be a good way to get in because like I need to get in. So awesome, let's do that. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you came to that realization, and at that time you were a first home buyer, right?
No.
Of course you'd sold that property
Yeah.
with your ex-husband. So what did you do to go from get an apartment to actually buying one? What did you do financially? Did you start saving money? Like, what
I've
did you do?
always saved a bit of money, but I needed like a chunk of money to get a deposit.
So you needed more.
Yeah. So at the time I thought I would have to like borrow from mum and dad or something to, I don't know, have them be a, what do you call
Guarantor.
it? Guarantor.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the broker, he said, actually, no, if you put all this money together and that, then you should be able to do it yourself. So I was like, yes. Yeah. And it ended up being more achievable than I expected.
Yeah, wonderful. And did you have any fears, doubts about anything at the time?
Yeah, I didn't know if I could do it because my work also was, at the time was not very high paying.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, if I get an apartment, then I can have someone help with the rent. But brokers don't look at that, banks don't look at that. So I was like, okay, well that's not going to work then. I need a backup plan. How am I going to afford it?
Yeah, so you went through that, and you, I hear the value in that story is that you actually went and asked for help.
Yeah.
To find out the facts.
Exactly.
As opposed to fear, can't do it, don't have enough, done, as opposed to thinking that, but finding the truth.
Let's make it work.
Yeah, right? And going and speaking to someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, and I then remember we caught up and we were talking about how you could buy this property that you'd found.
Yes.
And is it okay to share a couple of things in there that you may find helpful in this is, you said the property is open for open viewing like this coming Saturday.
That's right.
And you said, what do I do? And you wanted to make an offer.
I wanted to make an offer before the opening.
Yeah. And do you remember what I told you to do?
Go for it.
Do you remember?
No.
So I just said, let's ring the agent and make an offer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I think you said, can you do that?
Yeah, I didn't know if you could do it. Yeah,
and I said, well, the property's for sale, right?
Yeah.
And you want to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, let's do that.
And I think I know you rang right there, and it was pretty much, I think you made an offer, and it was like, I think you might have even said that works. Anyway, we progressed forward, right? You progressed forward, and I think you ended up getting it. Did you get it before then?
Yeah, I got it before, and everyone was apparently really cross at me because, you know, I had already snapped it up before it even went on to the
market.
To the market.
Yeah. And who was cross at you?
Apparently all the people who were lining up to go into the open home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you out there think about that, and what did you learn? And by the way, I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I'm only sharing from what I've learned from other people over the years about the rules and then what you can do.
Yeah.
The rules are, you can only make an offer on the open day or after the open day. Well, really? Like, is that true? You know,
obviously not.
Obviously not, right? Yeah. So what is it? First in, best dressed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. A bit of risk.
Right? And what's the worst that can happen? They say, no, you've got to go and attend the open home, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to miss out because it was such a high demand at that time.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember, and you wanted it. And so you bought that first property, and that all settled, and I know that, you know, you rent that out, and then you went on and you recently, prior to us working together as me as your broker and property guy and super fund guy, but you then went and bought a second one.
Yeah.
And mind you, respect to Marilyn, she works as a remote fly-in, fly-out nurse, far Western Australia, in and out on aeroplanes where I think there might still be a like Morse code to get in contact with her. And you bought that second one, and then we got chatting about super and buying a property, and you said, hey, I've been thinking about doing that.
I had,
And we started, and we did it.
I didn't even know, like, really much about super.
Yeah, like, tell us about that part.
So I'd always been a bit unsure about super funds because I think, okay, they're investing in a lot of stocks and, you know, share markets, whatever, however it works. I'm not an expert, but I'm like, that can crash at any time. So all my money invested into this company that I don't even know much about. I don't know who's making the decisions, but it could go well, it could crash, and I could end up with nothing by the time I'm retired. Yeah.
So you've got no control.
I've got no control, and I was like, it doesn't make sense to trust a company that you don't even really know. And then not only that, they switch over halfway through and another company buys them out, and then all of a sudden you're with another super fund and you're like, I've got no control. So I'm like, I want to actually have control of my own money, and I think property is a good way of doing it as well. And I'm still flexible. I can make my own decisions now to invest however I want.
Yeah, look, and testament to you, because I don't know if you know this, but over 13 million people in Australia receive some form of employee super fund contribution from their employer, and less than 7% manage and invest their own super out of 13.6 million, actually.
Wow.
Why do you think that would be?
I think most people don't know how to do it to start with. And if they did have the choice, some of them, think it's too hard basket.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a risk, but no matter what you do in life, it's going to be a risk. But I think being in someone else's super fund is just as big a risk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, this is not about giving financial advice today. This is just general chat and education. Always speak to someone. We've got people you can speak to, but for the right people in the right position mentally and financially, I know that it's a very positive way to have greater control over one's wealth creation, and being able to do that for yourself is a very positive thing. And I also get, for some people, they are better to have their money in an employee super fund because of those reasons. It's too risky and they'd rather just someone else do it. But it's also then about accepting what you get, because as we've done the numbers, there's a substantial difference longer term.
That was a mind-blowing thing. And actually, the benefits of having a self-managed super fund, like the more I thought, it was like, oh my goodness, this is a no-brainer. I was like, so my super now is going into my home loan as well as
the rent,
and
it's paying for it all.
It's paying for it, and increasing all the time. And I even see that now. I'm like, oh my goodness, my super fund is like increasing. Yeah. Amazingly.
Yeah. That's great. And I also just want to acknowledge you, and was hoping you could share working with you, even with all the challenges that we had, where you were working remotely and you had to go to the Alice Springs branch to fill in paperwork, and then you were overseas, and we kept going. I want to just say, like, Marilyn, your attitude was just always so calm, so roll with it, easygoing. Do you deliberately do that, or is that just who you are?
I just think you just, little steps at a time, and then you get it done. So if you do it straight away, then you don't have to think about it, and then it's like, So I think you made it easy as well, because you kept on informing me all the way through what to do. So it's like, okay, that's what I have to do. Okay, do it. Then done.
Thank you.
So it made it very easy.
Yeah, well, I think good team, right? Good accountant.
Yeah.
Good
Absolutely.
me, good you.
Yeah.
And I do think that just rolling with it, as I said, and say, right, and just, but I do think one of the things that I find very reassuring is when, like, someone like yourself is invested, and not just the what we're doing, but why we're doing it. And that is what I really want for people. Yes, I've got a business. Yes, we're in the business of helping people get loans and buy property. But ultimately, for me, what my driving force is, I want people to know that they can have choices, that they are smart enough, they are capable enough. And as I always say, and I'll point to you watching this video, is that you've done the most amazing things. We can do the most amazing things, and we can do this too if we really want to. But getting out of the way of our mind chatter, and actually coming back to the mind chatter, because one of the stories I hear a lot is, and I think you can relate because we've talked about some people that you've introduced me to that at this point haven't done anything yet, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And it's, when the kids get back to school, and then when I get the promotion, or when Mars aligns with Jupiter, excuse being cheeky, but the cost of this fear of putting things off do you want to share anything on that?
Well, I think I think it was, what we did was the most impossible situation, being
Working
in Western
remotely.
Australia, going overseas and trying to make it happen. There's no excuses for
There's no
anyone else
excuses.
compared to
There's no excuses.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think, it's probably a loaded question, but it's just fear dressed in a different cloak.
Yeah.
What if I get it wrong?
Mm.
What if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if I can't do it? What if it's all too hard?
Yeah.
So why even bother?
Yeah.
Ultimately. And why that, I guess, is something that I really want to bring out and present is the cost of those stories, as opposed to, sure, investing in a property super is not without risk. Stuff can happen, right? But stuff can happen, like you said, where you've got your money in your super fund, but if you really want to have more and really, I feel, have a greater return, have more financial wealth, to have a better life, to have that willingness to do what it takes now so you can enjoy things later is what I see the wealthier do. Yeah. They do the things that they have to do, not necessarily when they want to do it, but they do it because they know if they do it now, they benefit later. Yeah. As opposed to, well, I'll put it off to later, and then they never benefit. Yeah. Like you even think about what you went and invested, like your first property, and even I was thinking, wow, the body corporate's up there. Exactly. But now it's doubled in price, and I think it's pretty much almost paying for itself.
Well, and that's how I got the other property, was because it's paying for itself, and the equity helped me get the other one. So it was a hugely successful investment.
Yeah, it's done well.
Even though, a lot of people had doubts in that property as well.
And you even kept going with those people giving those concerns and doubts, right?
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew
right?
that was the one.
And I think that's the other lesson is that staying true to yourself, even when you've got negative Nelly, and look, people are generally concerned and they want the right thing for it, and that's fair enough. But thank you for your time, and I would just like to ask you, is there any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with anyone watching this video who could be thinking about whether they're buying their first home, their second property, or they want to use their super to invest? What would be some things you'd like to share that could just help them take that next step and have a look and see what's possible?
Well, I don't know how to, hang on. I think the super fund is a genius idea, the self-managed super fund. I think that would be a brilliant way to start, because then you can have your super fund working for you with other investments, and then another bonus is at retirement that is a tax-free investment. I didn't know about that. It would have been a lot smarter, so I think that would be a good way to start. Okay.
What about managing the mindset when it brings up these stories of can't do that, too late, not possible, but my mum said don't do it because they didn't do it, and all that good stuff?
Take the risk.
Find out.
Just do it. Yeah, find out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Find out. So thank you, Marilyn. It's absolute honour working with you, and I just know the difference it can make, and I just think, when you're changing people's lives, especially around the topic of money, it's got a lot of energy around it for all of us, right? Yeah. But I do want to say that it is just money. They're just numbers. And while it's packed with emotion and it can destroy a life, it can make a life, I do invite you, whether it's to speak to me and my team, or anyone that's in this space that you might already be working with or thinking about working with, is to go find out what's possible, even if you're not ready yet, to know where you can start. Like I'm talking to some people, they're not ready yet, but they're now making contribution, some are saving money, and then you've got a plan, because I think when you've got a plan, the fear dissipates. because now you know the steps. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be working with you. Thanks for watching. My name's Trevor Russell, and if we can help with any of this, buying property with your super, setting you up, your first home, your second home, refinancing, all that stuff that comes around money, be a pleasure to talk to you and see if and how we can help you. But do remember, you've done the most amazing things and you can do this too. It's just a matter of knowing how and asking for help. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.